Hello, thank you for joining this month's Connect with Control M session. My name is Drew Casas, and I'll be your facilitator for this webinar. Today, we will explain how to make the most of the reporting facility in Control M 921. We have three presenters today from the Control M support team: Arthur Yates, Jean-Francois Roussel, and Alex Phillips. We recommend going to full screen mode during this presentation by pressing the full screen button. Please note that this presentation is available via the Files pod at the bottom of your screen. For any questions you may have during the presentation, please post them in the Q&A pod. We will be addressing your questions at the end of the session. Today, we'll explain the topics you see here regarding understanding the reporting facility tool. We'll demonstrate with how to share reports with other users. Then we'll discuss how to generate useful reports to get more insight on your workflows. Afterwards, we'll take your questions during the Q&A session and give you the opportunity to provide your feedback. For our first demonstration, Arthur will demonstrate troubleshooting the logs related to reporting facility and understanding the microservices involved. Arthur, please go ahead.
Thank you for that warm introduction, Drew. Today, I'm excited to dive into the world of Control M and spotlight a powerful feature that can elevate your workflow efficiency: the Control M report services. We'll start by exploring the microservices functionality within Control M reports. I'll walk you through how these microservices operate and the steps to recycle the report services, whether you're using the CCM, the Control M Configuration Manager, or the command line interface. Next, I'll guide you on locating the essential logs for report services. These logs are critical for troubleshooting and ensuring your operations run smoothly. Finally, we'll take a closer look at the different types of reports available to you. I'll demonstrate how to leverage wildcards and your filters to refine your search and get the most relevant results. So, let's dive in and discover how these features can enhance your Control M experience. In Control M, services operate as a collection of microservices, each one a self-contained unit capable of executing specific tasks independently. This design means that each microservice can function without relying on larger components, which optimizes resource usage and boosts overall efficiency in your environment. The microservice in Control M dedicated to reporting is known as the reports service. This service is responsible for creating and generating ad hoc reports, enabling you to tailor reports to your specific needs and derive actionable insights from your data. Many businesses rely heavily on their Control M system for efficient workload automation and reporting. Maybe your information technology team has noticed that their reporting service is experiencing delays or occasional failures, impacting timely data delivery to management and stakeholders. Recycling the reporting service could help clear up temporary issues and restore normal operation. Here's how you can recycle the Control M report services from CCM interface and command line interface. I'm currently logged into the Control M Configuration Manager, or CCM interface. You'll notice that Soundwave is set up as our primary Enterprise Manager server, while Rumble serves as the distributed Enterprise Manager server. I'm expanding the services component of the primary Enterprise Manager server and highlighting the reports services. Okay, so I right-click on the report services, and I'll start with desired state. I have only one option to recycle, so I click that and a short message of recycle will show up. I also have another option to click on Control Shell. I can click on the usage button, and I have a few options such as stop, graceful shutdown, graceful start. When performing a stop on the report service, this microservice will automatically restart as long as the services configuration agent microservice is running. It functions as a watchdog process for all services. This service enables you to monitor and send commands for all services such as shutting down, starting up, and setting the logging level. When dealing with Control M reporting services, debugging is crucial to ensure that reports are accurate, timely, and meet business requirements. Some reasons we need to enable debug: identify issues, trace the root cause or implement fixes, and test and validate. In the control shell, we use the diag command to enable debug. If we highlight and click apply, we see the usage. Here, I'm going to run diag with the dash dash log dash level equal debug to enable debug. And then I'm going to use diag dash dash log dash level equal warn to disable debug to put it back in its default. Next, I'll be switching over to the primary Enterprise Manager server to demonstrate how to execute these functions using a command line interface. The services-CLI utility enables you to control, monitor, and troubleshoot the following services from the command line. The microservice that we'll focus on today is the reports service. We can use this command to see the usage. In Unix and Linux environments, we call the services-CLI utility with the EM wrapper. In Windows environments, we call the utility using the command services-CLI. You can find more information about this command in our Control M documentation. By using the EM services-CLI-DT parameter, which stands for details, you can display the microservices output in JSON format. This output can be redirected to a file for further review. I'm using a third-party utility to parse only the relevant data. Here, I have two separate instances of report services running. I'm only concerned with the primary EM server, Soundwave. In the command line interface, I will stop the reporting service for the primary EM server. I run the command em services-CLI-stop-I, which is the instance ID, -s, which is the service name, reporting-facility. We can verify the report service was stopped and restarted by the service configuration agent as the process IDs are updated. I run the command em services-CLI-DT to retrieve details, along with a third-party utility to help me parse only the relevant data. To enable debug for the report service, we can use this command. The -c parameter is the command string. We can use the same commands that was seen in the CCM interface for the report service control shell. To disable debug for report service, we will run this command. The report services logs are essential for diagnosing issues with report generation and services. These logs are stored on the Enterprise Manager server. You'll need to navigate to the EM server's installation directory. To review and analyze these logs, you'll need administrative access to the EM server. We have a few reporting services logs sorted by latest modification date. Reviewing the log, we can see when we enable and disable debug diagnostics and other information. For assistance with troubleshooting, please provide Control M support a full EM server data collector using the utility em_data_collector. Next, I'll switch to the Control M web interface to cover Control M reports. The ad hoc reports tool in Control M lets you create custom reports easily with access to predefined categories and templates that simplify report creation and data analysis. Control M reports offer several key report categories. Active monitors real-time data information, SLA management, insight into job metrics, definition, provides details on job definitions, history, analyzes historical job information, file transfer, gathers data relating to file transfers. You can find more information within our Control M documentation. I'm now logged into Control M reports. We'll examine how leveraging wildcards and filters can enhance the flexibility and precision of our report generation. In the active category, I have a report called COH workflow. We'll focus on the filters column as this defines the data we want displayed in the report. In the preview section, I click refresh to see results of the report. I have a few columns previously selected. In the filter section, I have an array of options to filter the report. I can filter by specific column. I can filter by operators. The values are case sensitive. The filter operators that accept wildcards are any of the following, none of the following, like, and not like. This is further detailed in the control and documentation. For my needs, I'm filtering the application column with the operator any of the following, resulting with the keywords supply chain and administration. I'm using wildcards and a comma to separate the values. The filter operators, any of the following and none of the following, can accept commas and the asterisk wildcards. Now, I'd like to fine-tune the results. I add another filter for the host column with the operator none of the following to remove host devastator. As demonstrated, this is a small example of the flexibility in our report generation capabilities. That concludes this demonstration, and I am now handing back to you, Drew. Thank you.
Thank you, Arthur, for showing how to troubleshoot the reporting facility. Our next demo is about how to share reports without exporting them. We have Jean-Francois who is going to lead us through this demonstration. Jean, please go ahead.
Thanks for the introduction, Drew. I am now going to demonstrate how to create a report, share it with other Control M users, and run it with Automation API. I have a folder, CTM Ment, that contains my maintenance job, and I like a report on yesterday's execution. After connecting to my web client version 9.0.21.200, I am navigating to the report web interface, and to create this report, I will go to History, select Report, and select Add a new report. A new window opens, and I have a choice of reports. I am interested in the job execution for my specific report, so I select it and click on Add. I am now ready to customize the report to suit what I need from it. First of all, I want yesterday's run of my job. So I go through the drop-down menu and select yesterday. Then I need to filter on my folder CTMA. So I select folder from the filters and I type my folder name CTM. Next, I am going to select what I want to see in my report from the tab Visible Columns. I do not need the server name or the folder name, as I have defined exactly which folder I wanted. I am interested in the job name, start time. I will add the end time, the runtime we already have, and I will have the completion status and keep the average duration to check if the job has not run any longer than it should have. For the sorting, I am only interested to sort my report by start time, but there are all the sorting possibilities I could have gone for corresponding to my choice of column. Now that I am happy with the definition of the report, I will save it and I will have a quick review, click on refresh to make sure it looks the way I intended. I could also generate the report here, but I will do that with Automation API a bit later. As you can see here, I have also different options to manage the report, but I am only interested in sharing it with my colleague, as they also probably be interested in seeing the results. After having selected Share Report, this window opens and I add the username of my colleagues. First Arthur, then separate with a comma my second colleague Alex, and when I will be finished, I click on Save. As you can see here, the icon showing the reported share is appearing. Should you want to share your report with every user, you can just type all and then save as well. Now, let's check if Arthur has received the report, moving to another browser where he is logged in. I go to History and I can see that he has access to the report. Now, I'd like to run my report through Automation API in preparation to schedule the report to run automatically. For this demonstration, we will assume that you are familiar with Automation API authentication service and that we are already authenticated and ready to run the report. From a command prompt window, assuming that the Automation API client is installed and the environment is configured, to run the report, we will run the command that you see on the screen. Please note that you will need to add shared semicolon to the report name because this is a share report as we've seen before. The report has executed, and as you can see here, it succeeded, which is a good news, and it's been downloaded to the place we indicated when running the report. We can verify the content of the report using Notepad, verifying that it contains what we wanted. This concludes this demonstration, and I am now handing back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Jean, for showing how to share Control M reports. Next up, Alex will demonstrate how to generate useful reports using the Control M reporting facility. Alex, please go ahead.
Thank you for the introduction. Today I'll be going over some of the useful reports from our reporting facility tool. For this example, as an administrator, I need to know the jobs that has email addresses in the to and the CC field and look for a specific email within those jobs. So first, we need to go to the reporting tool. This can be done by selecting the icon menu and reports, and we're gonna go ahead and create a new report. And here we're gonna do a definition report, and if you scroll down, notify by mail actions, so we're gonna go ahead and select. This report will contain all the jobs that have notified by mail, and under the visible column we can see the columns we can select to be displayed within this report. So under filter, we're going to select the to that we want to look for a specific email, and on the is, that's you have to type the exact value of the email, so we'll just select like. This way we don't have to type the whole email, and in this case let's look for the emails going to our operations team. And at the bottom, if we hit refresh under preview, we can see example of what's going to contain in our report. And to generate the report, we have to save it to then generate. And you select what type of file you want the report to be generated to. So here you go, we just save a report. And if we wanted to do a report all based off the CC field, we'll just do the same thing. And here let's just select management, and if we do a refresh, you can see here the one's going to manage. And if we change this, let's say we want the CC going to operations, so we'll just put here operations, do a refresh, and here you go. So this is very useful when you're trying to get a report for notified by mail jobs. For the next example, As an administrator, I need a report to show job attributes such as for connection profiles on a MFT job, a SAP database, etc. So we'll go ahead and create a new report, and let's not save this, and here we're going to select definitions and we're going to select variables. So we'll go ahead and create our job definition variable report, and if we add the filter and we look for a specific job, so let's look for a job name, and here let's just enter the name of a specific job that we're looking for. If we do a refresh, we can see all the variables related to that job. So here, if you wanted to look for a specific variable, let's say we want the destination path of all the file transfer jobs, the MFT jobs. So we'll go ahead and copy the variable, and here we'll select variable name, and we'll enter the variable, and we're gonna add a filter to the value of that path. So we're gonna go ahead and select variable value, copy our value from here, and enter, and we're gonna generate the report, the preview. And as you can see, if we had multiple jobs here with that path as a destination, we would also see it here. To generate our report, we'll just save it and select the type of file we want to save it to. You can use this report to look for a specific parameter within a connection profile type job, so it's very useful. And for the next example, we'll go over audit reports. This is very useful for auditing information or just to look for any changes that was done on the environment. So we'll go ahead and create a new report, active and audit. In here, there's the time range, audit type, and audit operations. For audit type, there's various types of audit report. For now, we'll just leave it at all, and for time, we want to see what change was made to a specific job between yesterday and today. So we'll just go ahead and look for specific job name and enter the job name we're looking for. As you can see here, it gives us a time and date, the host that the operation was done from, username, and the audit operation that was done. So this is very useful to see if there was a change on the job, who did it, and so on. And we're gonna go ahead and save our report and generate as a PDF file. There you go, the report's being generated. And if I wanted to take a quick look here just to show what type of information shows on the audit report, so let's just remove the filter and do a refresh. So here you can see it logs all type of information such as login, any changes done throughout the environment, ordering jobs, holding jobs, workspace, job definition. So this is a very useful information for auditing purpose. And that's it for my presentation today. Thank you so much. Back to you, Drew.
Thank you, Alex, for showing us how to generate these reports. All right, everyone. That concludes our session for today. On behalf of Arthur, Jean, and Alex, and the entire Connect with Control-M team, thank you for spending time with us today. We look forward to you taking advantage of features that we saw today in your environment. Stick around for the Q&A session where we will take your questions. But first, you can learn more about the BMC Education course, Control-M Fundamentals Operating, by clicking the link in the links section below, or you can visit the bit.ly link you see on the screen. Your feedback shapes our future webinars. We would appreciate if you will take a moment and answer a few questions for us in the survey that you will receive later today. You can find Control-M on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Links for each can be found in the links section below. You can watch previous webinars on the Control-M channel on YouTube. Today's webinar will be posted there within a couple of days. Let's kick off the Q&A. As a reminder, you can enter your questions on the Ask a Question section at any time.